And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Grade A Power Plays on the Grade A Fantasy channel. Welcome back. Let's get right, let's get right logged back into it. So let's go over what happened last night. And oh boy, like everybody else, you didn't tell my picks and not feel this. Like, this was felt by everybody because it was a favorite line. And first off, we'll go with our main thing. Victor Hedman got the power play point. Like I said, defensemen create, so they're going to get a lot of chances to get points and assists. And we got good. We got the power play point. He could have got the assist, but the power play point was the best value. So we got that. He didn't get the 5, but he damn sure got the 4 and 3 shot, which was good. So he went over his 2.5 prop. The power play last night. Oh, man. Watching Columbus power play last night was frustrating. They were mishandling the puck, bad passes. It was horrible. And then San Jose had a couple of opportunities, but that didn't work out. Voronkov didn't get on the sheet. But we definitely did get the Celebrini to Foley. We got Marchenko Fantilli, but the William Eklund, it was there and then it was taken off a whole bunch of time later. Almost a full period went by. In most cases, stats get updated because they have that 20-minute break to replay certain things to assess the points. But this wasn't there until like later in the game. So, I mean, pretty much to the end of the game. So that pretty much sucked. There was another instance like this because I was actually watching this game, the San Jose Columbus game, while I was monitoring the Hedman ladder. And when Hedman was on the power play, I was minding it on the game cast, and his name appeared, but it quickly disappeared. But eventually, when I saw in the stat box, they just needed to put it to make it up official, because even in the box score, even though they took it away, automatically they already had 1 in the assist column. So, I mean, the Eklund thing, so it was a little weird night. That wasn't the only weird thing that happened with scoring, but yeah, the Eklund thing was very disappointing. We could have got more things there. Obviously, this would have not mattered if Eklund got the point, but went for the double triple right there with, like I said, my 2 lines and got 4 out of 6. So it is what it is. Let's move on. But hopefully you guys at least tailed that Hedman ladder if you did tail anything. I don't have anything in tail yet. I have been taking notes, and we are pretty much set, I think, with all the starting goalies, if I'm not mistaken. Except for, yes. Okay, so it's pretty much UPL for Buffalo. Nedeljkovic is confirmed for Pittsburgh. That's the game we're going to start on with first. And then Kochetkov is playing between the pipes against possibly Adin Hill. It could be Adin Hill because both of these teams were off yesterday, so more than likely you're going to get the number 1 goalie there. But what I want to concentrate on is today's theme is second lines. I like Vegas too because they've been generating well, and I love Buffalo too because they've been generating well. And they have a great matchup. Plus, they got, to me, one of the worst goalies that still has a contract in the league. You let go of Tristan Jarry. I'm sorry, but he was definitely your best goalie. It's Nedeljkovic you needed to get rid of. So right now, currently, when it comes to Pittsburgh currently has basically 2 goalies that are both under 88%, I think, when it comes to goal save percentage. So it's not really the best thing. And then both of them are right at the 3.5. And the way Pittsburgh is not that good defensively, realistically 3.5 is like you're expecting 4 goals a game, almost every game, maybe 4.2, 4.3 goals a game against Pittsburgh. So with Nedeljkovic starting, I mean, all these guys are viable. Like I said, Tage, Rasmus Dahlin, he's the power play quarterback. But when it comes to basic points, the line 2 has the most value, and they've been generating well lately. They just really have been. It's an okay power play matchup, but the fact that you have a bad goalie when Pittsburgh is in the middle of the league, it's a 79.2% penalty kill, just under what the needed average is. But like I said, Nedeljkovic at goal makes it more like to me, it's a significant drop. It's a 73 to 75% power play goal. Like I said, Nedeljkovic normally is giving up 3 to 4. So if you're giving up 3 to 4, once again, goalies could always have a good game. But when you're consistently, besides you having your rare good game, consistently giving up 3-4, that means there's points to be had. So when it comes to my notes, yes, definitely without a doubt, when it comes to points, Sidney Crosby is the only one over 200. Everybody else is pretty much under 170. So if you want to go to the top line, and obviously McLeod is not here. McLeod might be somebody that might be on DraftKings possibly, because he's now been the center of the top line for the last couple of games. But Tage, if you want to do it, Tage and Zucker, PP1 correlation, them getting a point is 133. What I want to do though, like I said, today's episode is about line twos. So I'm definitely going to dip into the combinations of Dylan Cozens. Why? Because, I mean, it's plus money, so why not? It's definitely just a better play, too. So we'll go Dylan Cozens, who's automatically plus 118. What they have Peterka, who's minus 128, and you're looking at plus 204. I'll put that down for a prop right there. I definitely like that line, too. And then the reason why I also like to get this one, and then the thing with that is, even though it sucks that they took him off because they did jumble up the power play, Peterka's on power play 1 with Thompson and Zucker, but you do have this combo, and then this combo has been hitting a lot. Like there's certain combinations like that you normally hit, like you always see Raymond, Larkin, Suzuki, Caulfield. Well, technically, when the second line hits, it's Cozens and Tuck lately. It has been for the past couple of weeks. So Tuck at minus 111 with an even plus money Cozens, it's plus 192, and we're going to get a little bit of action on that as well. I definitely like that. And let's just see what it is. Hey, it's possible. These guys could get there. Peterka on his own could be part of a power play, and then Dylan Cozens and Tuck could get there on a 5-on-5. But Peterka, Cozens, and Tuck are all correlated line 2, just not fully correlated on the power play. But all three of them on 5-on-5. You have Cozens, Peterka, Tuck, and all of them together is a plus 326 if you want to go that route as well. But I definitely like the combos since they're not perfectly correlated. With Nedeljkovic in net once again. And then, like I said, these two teams can't be trusted. So if you look at this side, yes, Sidney Crosby is definitely high in price. But if you wanted to, you could easily just go Rustin Raquel if you would like to. That's a nice plus 127. Buffalo is currently 6th in the penalty. Below average penalty kill, they're at 78.8, so basically 79%. But they have 438 penalty minutes. They're 6th now. While once again, I said Pens are in the middle of the league. 318, they're right around like 14, 15, or 16th with a 79.2. So don't give up a lot of penalties. They give up quite a bit. You can get 2 or 3 penalties out of them. They're not in the 3 to 4 range, or you might just get 1 or 2. But like I said, with somebody like Nedeljkovic, you definitely could attack a power play or be interested in taking power plays. I don't know quite what I want to do yet, because the last time I saw, I don't think everybody that I would like to pick is currently on the power play. No, they added Peterka. Peterka's there. So it's Tage. The main people for me on that power play is Tage. Tage is plus 280. Dylan is already at 210. So not the best value. Plus, remember, you got to score on that typical type of play. Pens don't give up that many penalties. They give up a decent amount. And automatically, the reason why I don't like Dylan for that is because look at the bet that we just played. For a regular 5-on-5, we got plus 192 here and plus 204 there. So that's definitely like right next to Dylan on just a power play on special teams. So if I'm going special teams, it's most likely Tage. You would think somebody like Tage would be on the plus 250, but I like Tage. And then also for that, just for the value purposes, I like Peterka on there, who's plus 300. And yeah, you could go with Zucker. 280 plus 290 plus 300 are good options. Not the best power play, but it's a fine power play option. Obviously, maybe even a little bit better for the Pens, because like I said, being 6th in the league, there should be options for the power play for Pittsburgh. But like I said, we're really here to attack Nedeljkovic here. That's what it is. Since he's the starter, and like I said, you got rid of your best goalie. We're here to attack Nedeljkovic straight on. As we move on, when it comes to the pairings, let's go to line 2 here. Now, the news here. Oops, tapped the wrong game. The news earlier was Fredrik Andersen, their main top goalie for the past couple years, is coming back off injury reserve, and he was at Morning Skate. I was hoping they'll start him because goalies that has been out for a while, coming off injury, either perform rusty and get a win or just perform badly and get a loss. For instance, Thatcher Demko lost his first 2 starts, giving up I think 8 or 9 goals before he got his first win in his 3rd appearance, coming from I think it was hip or back surgery. But he was out for a long time. In a slightly different situation, Igor was out for about 4 or 5 games. So in hockey, that's about a week and a half, depending on your schedule. And he came back, gave up 2 goals, but still got the win. So, it varies. But the only thing that matters is you could definitely score on a goal that comes back. Here's the problem. They did not decide to start him, which is smart for, actual hockey purposes. And they got Pyotr Kochetkov is starting. It's just a case of, is Aiden Hill going to start? He's still not confirmed yet. Everybody else is pretty much confirmed. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is not confirmed, but it's more than likely he's going to go against Nedeljkovic. So, Kochetkov, like I said, Carolina's in the funk. This is not the same Carolina team. Kochetkov does give up some goals. You could get 2 or 3 of them even at home. The thing is, the reason why I go for 2, line 2 Vegas has been producing, and they're at Carolina. So the Stahl line, which is one of the best shutdown lines in the past 10 years, they're going to get the Jack Eichel line. Eichel, Stone, and Barbashev. Carolina doesn't give up that many penalties, and when they do, once again, as usual, they have a top 5 penalty kill. That's just what they do. Excuse me. They've always been one of the top penalty kills in the league. And with the morning skate, their morning skate still not confirmed, but I don't see any reason why Vegas will break up these lines. Jack Eichel, Stone, Barbashev, which means it should be Hurdle, Olofsson, Dorofeyev, Vegas finally getting healthy, and then somebody who's been producing early in the year, they're now finally down to lines 2 and 3. You got people like William Karlsson, Brett Howden, Holtz, and you got Nicholas Raw, who was good for plus money points early in the year. Used to hold down the second line, and he's already down the 4th line. But we're talking about that second line, Pavel Dorofeyev. When it comes to the points, that second line has been generating slightly better over the past 10 games, especially, Dorofeyev. Numbers look a little boosted, yes, with the hat trick. But when it comes to the last, 7 games, if I'm not mistaken, Pavel Dorofeyev and Tomas Hertl have been a part of most of the power play points for Vegas. And they are correlated. Too bad Victor Olofsson, with everybody healthy, Victor Olofsson is off the top power play. He's on power play too. But I like power play correlation. Now, it's not the best power play. Definitely not. This is like if you're looking for anything power play wise, it will be in the Buffalo-Pittsburgh game, without a doubt. With the way Buffalo could fall flat on their face but try to score their way back. And then, Pittsburgh still has some offensive weapons. And then, of course, like I said, we got Nedeljkovic at net. So it's a fine power play. But Tomas Hertl, Pavel Dorofeyev, they've been great 5-on-5. They're pretty much in unison. When one scores, it's always the other. When it comes to the last 10 games, 2 goals, 5 assists for Hertl, 7 goals, 2 assists for Pavel Dorofeyev. So they're hand in hand. And they both have 3 power play goals in the last 10 games. Or 3 power play points in the last 10 games. So, and that's right under compared to the main 2 studs of Jack Eichel and Mark Stone, who respectively have 3 and 4 power play points. So it's something that I think I'm going to do because it's worth the risk. It's not the best power play, so let's just scramble all the way here. Once again, Carolina can give up power plays. It could happen. Like I said, Kochetkov has not been good. He could still give up 2 or 3 goals, and one of them could be a power play. So if I'm going to take the risk of a power play, we have Stone at 230, and yes, Eichel is there at 260. But for as well as they've been playing lately, and Carolina defense has not been that good when you get past the star line 5-on-5, and the penalty kill is 85%. Like I said, there's no such thing as 100% penalty kill. There's a possibility that in 3 during the course of a game, like Carolina could give up three penalties. There's absolutely, there's absolutely possibility that can actually happen. So even though we could get shit out here and lose money, I know I'm most likely leaning on taking this. So if I'm gonna make the risk, if I'm gonna take a risk, or if you're gonna take a risk in life, it might as well be something worth it. So you have a team like Carolina, who first off doesn't give up that many penalties. That's the other thing too. It's a double-edged sword here. 314 minutes with an 85.1 penalty kill. That 85.1 penalty kill is second or third in the league, if I'm not mistaken. And then penalty minutes, when it comes to penalty minutes, they're in the bottom 6, if I'm not mistaken, of the league when it comes to giving up penalties. So this is not the best penalty. This game right here is not really good for power plays. Vegas, as usual, is always in a, forget bottom 7. Vegas is always in the bottom 3. So I am not touching any power play points. Not touching any power play points for Carolina. Vegas gives up the least. They still haven't given up 250 minutes all season. They're still at 234. They're still at 234 with a 78% penalty kill, which evens out fine. Yeah, they could get themselves in trouble with giving up a power play, but when you have that amount of minutes and you have trouble in a power play, having a below average at 78% under the 80% threshold that I said we should like, or at least 79 or whatever, it kind of evens out when you're barely giving up any minutes. Like literally, they're almost 70 minutes away from a team that's in 300, and that's also a bottom 7 team, and that's the Kraken, who's in 304, 27th in the league. So if I'm going to take any chances, it's because, one, the goalie can give up the power plays. If there's any power play, I'm taking the bottom 2. It's worth a sprinkle. 370 and 500 for Pavel Dorfear. The way these guys are playing. The way these guys are playing lately, it's worth the risk. But like I said, the better power play options are in the Penn Sabres game. But when it comes to points, without a doubt, I was looking earlier. No. I was looking earlier, and they didn't have Dorfear for points. I wonder if they updated it. Because on my notes, all I have is Hurdle, and then Olofsson is on that second line. Maybe I could do Hurdle and Olofsson for plus 268 because the odds are great. But I would rather have Hurdle for the 210. Carlson, Pietrangelo, Hanifin, Hurdle. Yeah, he's not here. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. But Hurdle's still 210. I'll take that by itself. That's no problem with me. I'll take Hurdle for 210. Plus 110 by itself. That's definitely something that I would do. And then, like I said, if anything, if I want to take that combination, Hurdle and 505, his partner Olofsson, both of them are plus money. You're looking at plus 279. I did write that down. Oh, that went up. When I wrote it on my notes, I just looked at my notes now. That was plus 268 earlier. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I don't know why Hurdle is not there for your basic point when obviously you just saw he was there for a power play point, because I heard Hurdle, Dorfear, and the odds didn't change. It's still the same when I took the notes this morning. 370 plus 500. They're the bottom 2. So if I can't get Hurdle and Dorfear on 5 and 5, I will take the risk. I think it's worth the risk. I think it can happen? I'm 60% no, 40% yes. But like I said, Carolina defense has been fine, but their goalie play hasn't. It hasn't. It really hasn't. So I think that we can get an edge on that there. So like I said, that's just worth the risk. But when it comes to the power play game, yes, you're looking at Pittsburgh, Buffalo. That's the game you're looking more for power plays. And it should be a strong defensive game because over-under for Vegas, Carolina is set at 5.5. The scoring game is set at 6.5 for Sabres, Pittsburgh. So you already know where to go there. But for the power play, definitely worth the risk because of the high odds. But for more realistic, like it can hit because of Nedeljkovic, 280 Tage, 290 Tucker, 300 Peterka. Thank you for tuning in. This is Grade A Fantasy. Once again, if you tailed last night, congrats. And good luck tonight. Like I said, just 2 games, but I was able to give a little breakdown on, why you should figure out this and why you should figure out that. But like I said, the more offensive friendly game is the Penguins Sabres game. But when it comes to gambling, and there's some good odds for possibility, shaky goaltending in Carolina, I definitely see the potential of why you should take a Dorofeyev and Hurdle point. Even though that penalty kill is damn near the best in the league, it's still worth a sprinkle. So, once again, like I said, not a lot going on, but good night, have a good day, and have a pleasant weekend. Here on the East Coast, it should get a little bit better this weekend. We shall see. Other than that, and enjoy the definitely enjoy the football playoffs this weekend, and yeah, pretty much that's pretty much it. But yeah, more than likely, if you're gonna place the friendlier betting game, without a doubt is the Pittsburgh Sabres game, because it's been a few games since I think in the last 5, if I'm not mistaken, it's been what, in the previous 5 games. I'm talking while I'm clicking this right now because I'm trying to end this video. But like I said, no such thing as a perfect power play. But I'm looking here, and in the past 5 games, 2 power play goals for Carolina against Carolina. So it can be done, but you know, it is what it is. And yes, they were, if I'm not mistaken, against the Lightning, it was scored against Pachekov. And I saw the other one, just to give you guys all the information, the Toronto game. And if I look here, that was the Jordan Staal hat-trick game. Matthews scored from Nyes and Marner. Who was the goalie in that 6-3 game? Kochekov. So there you go. So Kochekov is the guy that you'll be looking at. Hopefully they can get by one. Hurdle, Dorofeyev, 370-500. The last 2 goals, power play goals in the last 5 games, both against Kochekov. Let's go. Grade A Fantasy, signing off.